Trump impeachment insanity now turning into a stalemate on Capitol Hill. The president blasting Nancy Pelosi over the weekend for the Democrats' impeachment delay.
Crazy Nancy, she's crazy. No. So now she says, she has no case. She has no case, so let's not submit it. That's good, right? That's good. But you know what? So unfair. It's so unfair. She has no case. Did they look bad? They got up the same thing, the Constitution. They are violating the Constitution, totally.
Nancy Pelosi is responding by attacking Trump and saying the House isn't going to move forward anytime soon. And crying Chuck Schumer claims that unless Republicans give in to his demands, then the entire thing is a sham. The GOP returning fire by calling out Pelosi's shenanigans.
It seems to me a rather absurd position to say after you've impeached the president, you won't send the papers over to the Senate.
I think this is a sign of weakness. This is a sign she understands just how weak these articles are.
Impeachment is a dead cat. Stop playing with it. Bury it. It's going nowhere. Quit violating the Constitution.
And to top things off, Democrats are considering impeachment 2.0. A court filing revealing the possibility that President Trump could be impeached again amid a fight over testimony from former White House counsel Don McGahn. I like the dead cat analogy. I thought that was pretty good.
Nobody wants to play with a dead cat. Nobody wants to have a dead cat.
No.
Obviously.
Well, maybe you don't like cats. You only like dogs.
I like cats. My sister has 4 rescue cats. Hi, Angie, Tora, all of the other ones, Chewy and all that. Yeah, impeachment went so well for them the first time that, like, planning to do it again and telegraphing that you're going to do it again over Don McGahn's testimony.
Yeah.
That seems a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the government shutdown. Do you remember that there was a government shutdown last year?
Yeah, I do.
Last January, remember?
We called it the Democrat shutdown.
No, it was the Schumer shutdown.
Schumer shutdown.
Remember the Schumer shutdown? But the Democrats went into that thinking that they had the upper hand. Now, the president didn't get his wall money, but the Democrats ended up having to cave pretty much. So I think that impeachment feels the same. But there's something that happened that is not getting a lot of attention. I think it's because of all the other activity and it's the holidays. But Doug Jones, who's the Democrat from Alabama, is a senator, who's basically said he's not for this impeachment thing. I think that is as big as Jeff Van Drew switching parties from Democrat to Republican on the House side, because it matters a lot. And I think maybe that is because, again, we're all so busy. A lot of Democrats think that other Democrats are in trouble, or Republicans are in trouble, like Cory Gardner of Colorado or Susan Collins of Maine, that they're actually going to have trouble getting reelected. But Doug Jones saying he's not for impeachment, I think shows that he knows that it's not meritorious, and he's definitely not going to vote for it.
Shalou, do you agree?
Yes, but no big headlines on Doug Jones, just like, the switching parties wasn't that big of a story in the mainstream media. What was the big story? Somebody at Christianity Today wrote an article against Trump. So that makes the headline. So on that side, if you can find anybody at all, and they tried to make it seem like it's this big movement, evangelical support is crumbling.
Right, and we're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Capri. I have not been able to understand the strategy behind holding these articles back. We've tried to ask Juan, now let's give you a shot.
Into my Pelosi crystal ball.
Why is this such a good move for the Democrats to do?
Well,
I
mean, I think, and we've heard them saying, well, she's trying to get the upper hand because obviously she doesn't have any direct jurisdiction over what's happening. Here's what I think the strategy actually is, although I think no one will ever say it, and certainly, Speaker Pelosi will never actually lead with this, but I think it's because there is a lot of apprehension about impeachment and, its public acceptance. And I think what's happening here is, okay, they were able to satiate the base by actually doing some kind of vote on impeachment in the House, but they know that there's going to be acquittal in the Senate. So they have to slow down the train to essentially, play both ends to say, well, look, the Senate wasn't going to be fair, so we weren't going to let this go forward because, this is going to be rigged.
So they're still acting tough for their base.
I think they're still acting tough for their base, but I think they also do not want to be hamstrung with an actual acquittal. because...
Well, there's going to be an acquittal.
Right, which is why I think they're trying to...
So they just want the impeachment without the acquittal.
They just want a hung jury.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's my theory. I'm not saying it's a good one, but that's what I think is happening.
I think you might be right about that. What do you think?
Well, the problem with that, and not with your theory, but with the problem with the strategy, is the fact that the base didn't need anything additional. All this is causing those votes that actually do matter more for retaining any support for the Democratic Party, which is those independents, are the ones that are so exhausted by this and are showing their fatigue and are not supporting this. So it's like an unnecessary rally. And the other problem is it belies the entire point of this, which is that it's gamesmanship. It never had anything to do with substance. Otherwise, there would be more of a commitment to evidence. There wouldn't be the hurry up and then slow down that there is now. In law, we have consumer confusion, and this is like citizen confusion. No one understands this strategy. And during this break, by the way, this isn't just an average break. This is a holiday break where people are reconnecting with their families. They're restoring from their everyday crazy lives. So to me, on the other end of this, when Congress reconvenes, there will be an added exhaustion and fatigue and that kind of momentum coming into the new year. Everyone will be extra sick of this. Like this again? No way.
All right. Also, media is now smearing evangelicals for refusing to back impeachment. It comes as Christianity Today caused a stir after publishing an editorial calling for Trump's removal from office. Take a look.
Evangelical Christians, they're giving their full loyalty to the president and not to God. They're not questioning Trump.
The reason they're so offended is it's exposing all of them that they would take this shameless con man over the principles that they're preaching in the holy season. As we celebrate Jesus, they would sell Jesus out if they felt they could get something from it.
You said, "Oh Jesus," under your breath, Dana.
I said, "Geez."
Oh, geez,
us
yes.
Here together.
Yes.
So the dismay that Democrats have about evangelicals and Trump is not new. Like, this has been going on since the very beginning. Like, how dare you? How could you? This, remember, going back to Access Hollywood tape and on and on. And for me, my faith is actually very personal. I don't like to mix it in with politics. I'm not part of the evangelical movement, born Lutheran, baptized Lutheran, but I understand and respect evangelical positions. I also think that if somebody wants to write an editorial in Christianity Today, so be it. Let them. Like, everybody has an opportunity to give their opinion. We're blessed that we have this opportunity here. We get to do it on television, but it shouldn't be that big a deal.
I think you see also the timing of it. You saw the New York Times op-ed by those Republicans or former Republicans. They know they're trying to take out some of these Republicans in the Senate, and they need an all-out pressure campaign against Republicans to guilt them and to shame them into supporting this president as the stakes are so high with impeachment.
Look, elected officials are going to listen to the people they work for, and that is the voters at home, not necessarily the New York Times or any other media outlet that's going to try to shame them. I mean, look, there's always been this disconnect between President Trump and his personal, lifestyle, or however you want to say it, being married a number of times and that sort of thing, and that being incongruous with quote-unquote evangelical values. The reality is he has governed very strongly for that group of individuals when it comes to appointing judges and a number of executive orders, and that's what they're looking at, not necessarily his personal conduct.
That is true.
Yeah, I think that's
He's delivering.
It's a great point. I think it's dangerous to start attacking hypocrisy in mainstream media or media in general. That turns people off. That's very personal to them. And I think that what matters, people can have a distaste, but what matters is what happens at the ballot box. And that kind of the turnover of the circuits and the judge placements and pushing those through, that speaks louder than anything else.
Tom Shalhoub, take us home, my friend.
Dana, you're right. It's anyone can write an editorial. The thing is, this is one guy, Mark Galli. I watched him on the Sunday shows because, of course, he had a huge open forum, and they tried to make it seem like this was a national movement. Really, it's just this one guy and maybe the owner, Dalrymple, of Christianity Today. The thing you look at, though, is the fact that the media treated this. It was like some kind of watershed when it wasn't. They really just, and the follow-up article is very interesting because they just want to, they said, plant a flag. They don't like the fact that the evangelical movement is so tied to Trump. It's hurting them with recruitment with certain groups, and they will admit that. So it's not about impeachment, of which they are very inarticulate.
And what are they offering? Like, what is the alternative? The alternative is everything that evangelicals are not for. Like, the alternative on the policy side.
Did you hear what Mark Galli said on CBS? He said, I'm not political. I leave that up to you. So he punted on that.
Okay. And according to the Trump campaign, they're probably going to turn out more evangelicals than they did in 2016.
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah.
All right. Quick programming note here. Don't miss our Christmas Eve and Christmas Day specials with our biggest Secret Santa gift exchange yet and much, much more.